business building with precious metals in conjunction with Money School, Money Multiplier, Chris Noggle, myself, and 7K Metals, which is our new partnership that we started earlier this year, towards the end of last year, beginning of this year, for purchasing precious metals. So this is people that are already in 7K and just are looking for new tools, new tricks, new strategies for, buying precious metals, the right way to do that, as well as building your business, which we'll talk a little bit about later on as we get going here. So this first Thursday session, we're just going to kind of do a little hybrid, a little introduction to 7K, along with some training towards the second half of it. So if you're already in 7K, just kind of bear with us. If you're brand new, you don't even know what 7K is, no worries. We will go over the basics with you right now. So the way that this all started for me, and if you guys don't know me, if you're new, if you got invited from, Jesse or somebody in the Eagles Nest or something like that, I'm Stephen Nagy. I work with Money School and the Money Multiplier. So we teach people how to take back control of their money and solve the money problem. So basically, self-directed retirement accounts, privatized banking, alternative investments, a lot in real estate investment world, private money lending. We talk about crypto, options trading, things like that as well. So all things money related. We work with a lot of entrepreneurs and business owners, saving money on taxes, how to structure things the right way and set things up the right way. So last year, once we started to see inflation and we expected inflation to do what it's now doing and start spiking, we're always looking at what we call our all seasons portfolio. So where should our money be right now to not only protect it if we see a downturn in the stock market, but also to take advantage of anything that's going to be happening with the economy as it happens right now this year. So one of those things is inflation. So we're seeing a lot of inflation right now, and you're going to hear us talking about that. And so one of the greatest hedges of all time when it comes to inflation is precious metals. So gold and silver specifically. And when we look at what gold and silver do in these times of economic turns, it can be a great place to put our money. It can be a great way to exchange our cash for these precious metals, and both a defensive and offensive strategy that we'll talk about here today. So I went out last year, and just like what we do with everything when it comes to money and our partnerships and what we're doing with our money, is I started looking, and Chris gave me this mission: go out and let's find some way we can start buying precious metals. So I reached out to contacts. I reached out to people that I've known for years. Hey, how are you buying precious metals right now? Hey, what's the best way to buy precious metals? And I had people tell me about like AppMex and some of these other sites out there that you can buy precious metals. So I started digging into those, and I found some issues with them that we can talk about. I don't want to get into the weeds right now too much, but I found some challenges with buying precious metals from some of these other online companies and dealers that are out there. And then I finally talked to my good friend Jesse Tiva, who said, hey, listen, I'm buying precious metals right now. And I've known Jesse. I've worked done businesses with her in the past. We've been partners in business in the past, and we've done a lot of investing in the past together. So I believe and really trust what Jesse says. So she said, hey, I'm buying right now through this company that's Scott Zuckman. And I was like, Scott, I know Scott. Like, I met Scott 10 years ago through real estate investing. And she said, yeah, that's Scott Zuckman. So I was like, awesome. So I connected with Scott, and he told me all about what he's doing and what they've set up with this company 7K. So I said, all right, perfect. Tell me more about it. So he told me about how 7K works, and that's what he's going to share with you guys a little bit right now. And I said to myself, that's perfect. That's exactly what I'm looking for. And the reason why it's perfect is not only is the way to buy precious metals through 7K exactly what I was looking for, but B, there's a business aspect to it. And you guys know me, I'm always looking for ways to help our clients and our members and our customers and our tribe. And one of the things that I hear a lot when I'm on the phone, I mean, I've talked to 10 different clients today, and just alone, this is all I do all day, every day, is talk to people about money, how to grow your money, how to multiply your money, how to protect your money. It's all I do all day, every day. So a lot of people say to me, hey, Stephen, I am looking for a way to generate additional income. And a lot of people, okay, passive money lending is a great way. Have your money go to work for you and create more money. But not everybody has $100,000 they can throw at a real estate deal to generate $1,000 a month coming in. So if you don't already have the money to put out there to make more money, you need to generate additional income so you can get to that point. So how do you generate additional income if you have a full-time job, if you just lost your job due to COVID, if whatever, right? So So I've been looking for a way that I can teach our tribe, our members, and our clients how they can do something on the side to generate additional income as well. And 7K does have an aspect to it where you are able to go out there and help other people get started buying precious metals, so helping their families teach everything we're going to teach you today, but also earn some additional income along the way on the side also. So it was kind of one of those two birds, one stone type deals, right? Or as I like to say, win-win situations. So we talk a lot about these win-win situations. It's in my opinion, the number one way to have true success in business and life is to create win-win situations. Scott, you've been in real estate investing. I mean, in 2010, 2011, 2012, a huge part of our buying business in real estate was creating win-win situations through people that were in foreclosure. So going in and teaching them how to get out of their homes or keep their homes, or at least have their dignity along the way, right? And we would get the property for a great deal. They would get some money and move on. But it creates these win-win situations, or, seller finance deals. Or, I mean, I could talk about real estate all day. And Scott, I know you can talk for days and days and days about real estate. And that's not why we're here right now, but that's what I love about it, is creating these win-win situations. So I just wanted to go on a little rant right there to kind of open things up and lay out how I found 7K. So far, we've been buying precious metals on a regular basis for the last, 5 months now, I guess, since right before the turn of the new year. And it's awesome. I'm talking to Chris right now. He's buying about 30 grand a month right now in precious metal. He's getting involved in regular buys. So we're doing a lot with it right now. So I just said, listen, it's time that we hold a weekly training that we can talk to you guys and share with you what we're doing and how you can start sharing this with other people to generate additional income. So with that big old mouthful being said, how are you, Scott?
I'm wonderful. And, aloha. It was really great. And yes, I have known Stephen for a long time, and Jesse too, who's also on this call. And we have forged a wonderful business relationship as well as friendship. And real estate was my background and my passion. I started investing in real estate in 1980 and bought my first single family home. And that was after attending a seminar on how to buy houses, and I said, why not put it into action? And I give my wife credit because she's the one who enrolled me. She just said, hey, Scott, you're going to a seminar this weekend. I'm like, oh, am I? Okay. But then I took the ball and ran with it, and I've been investing, literally since 1980. So that's a long time. And then my daughter, my oldest child, was born in 1987, and I bought precious metals for her because I had been a big fan of Robert Kiyosaki. And I don't know how many of our listeners here are followers or believers or have heard you talking about Robert Kiyosaki and his philosophies on things like real estate, precious metals, and so forth. But he's written books right now about, one's called Fake, and it's about fake currency and how our US dollar isn't backed by anything. It's called a fiat currency. And I want to definitely get into that here in a few minutes. Look at what's happening in the world today, especially in the US, right? Is inflation. And people don't understand inflation. I mean, some of you weren't even born the last time we had inflation like this. Example of that is it's been 42 years since we've had inflation as high as we have right now. And it's going higher this coming month when they talk about it. And so we're almost at 10% inflation. If you only got a 5% raise at work this year, that means you lost 5% of your buying power just on any money that you're making. But you're losing 10% on all the buying power of any money that's sitting in a bank or a mattress, buried in a tin can in your backyard, whatever the case may be. That money that's sitting there literally is going down in purchasing power. Everybody's seeing it. You're seeing it at the gas pump. You're seeing it at the grocery store. You're seeing it at a car dealership. You try to buy an appliance these days. I mean, you can't even get a refrigerator for less than $3,500 for anything decent. So it's like, I remember I used to buy a $500 refrigerator. Where are those days? Right. But the point is, it's not that the dollar it's not that things are getting more expensive per se. It is that the dollar is less valuable and it takes more of them to buy the same thing. And people just say, look at the prices going up, but they don't understand it's really the dollar going down. And when the dollar goes down, precious metals go up. It is a cause and effect relationship. Always has, always will be, never will change. Metals go up when the dollar goes down. Metals go up when inflation goes up. Metals go up when the Fed raises the interest rate. This is cause and effect. Always has happened, always will happen. The Fed is raising interest rates a quarter point every single time they meet monthly. So we have another, at least 2% more interest rate hikes from the Fed before the end of the year. And what is that doing? Look at real estate loans right now. I'm not sure how many people are on this call that are into real estate investing, but I'm sure quite a few. If you want to go get a real estate loan right now, you're looking at 5%. If you're talking commercial loans, you're talking higher, much higher. And what that means is rents have to go up in order to pay the bills. And that's also a vicious cycle. How do you pay higher rents with dollars that are worth less? How do you pay higher rents with the dollar going down? And hence, you need some way to stabilize. That's where the precious metals come in. If you had a way to buy gold and silver and sit on it and let it go up while the dollar goes down, then you can convert back to the dollar when you actually need the cash. And now you get more dollars for the same gold. It's no different than the stock market. If you buy a stock and it goes up in price and you sell it, you make a profit. It's the same thing. You're buying gold. But here in the stock market, you never know what's going up and what's going down. You never do. It changes daily and it goes all over the place. But the reality check is gold and silver have always gone up over time, regardless of the stock market. But what they always track is interest rates. And so we know interest rates are going higher. The Fed told us they're going higher. This isn't a question of if they're going higher. They're going higher. And because they're going higher, guess what that means? That means gold and silver are going up. When? Not sure. But the fact they are, positive. What you want is graded, professionally graded, independently rated coins that are in perfect shape. Those are called collectibles or numismatic. Sometimes those two terms are interchangeable. But the numismatic typically is talking about things from like the 1800s and stuff like that, really old coins that they call those numismatic, coin collector stuff. However, more newer issues from mints all around the world, as well as the U.S. Mint, those can only be bought through certain sources, and they sell them to dealers. They don't sell them directly to the public. But like an MS-70 stands for Mint State 70, which is the highest graded coin on planet Earth, and it means nothing better. Well, if you look at a U.S. Eagle as an example, a silver Eagle 1 ounce coin, it used to be when it was backed by the dollar. I mean, when dollars were backed by silver, a $1 silver dollar coin had $1 worth of silver in it. You could interchange them. Okay. However, when we went off the gold standard in 71, Nixon took us off. Then what happened is they go independent their own way. The dollar was not backed by anything but the word of the U.S. government. Now, for all these years, don't get me wrong, the U.S. government's word has been very good, has been very strong, and people believe in the dollar. And even to this day, the U.S. Silver Eagle is the #1 traded coin around the world. But those are bullion coins. A bullion coin is a non-collectible, highly minted coin. And that's when you talk about collecting gold and silver, you're talking about mostly bullion. And bullion comes in all forms. It can be bars, it can be rounds, it just little pieces of round silver, and they might have a picture on them, but they're not really a mint a currency. But a silver eagle, gold eagle, those are currency as well as being bullion. All right. Now, if you were to pluck out a coin and send it to an independent coin grader, it'll get a score. Anything under MS-60 is pretty much bullion. 60 to 70 means better and better and better, where 70 is perfect. Okay? No flaws, no scratches, never been touched by human hands, uncirculated, just in pristine shape. Okay? They may not be as shiny as a proof coin, because a proof coin they give an extra buffing to. The MS70s, they don't do that, so they don't look the same, but they are rarer, because to get an MS70 you have to go through thousands and thousands and thousands of these bullion coins to find one that's in perfect shape, right? That gives it added value because of scarcity and because of rarity. And so people will pay more for a MS70 silver US Eagle than they will for a bullion US silver Eagle dollar, if that makes sense to you. You're never going to go buy it for, let's say today's price is $23. You're not going to go say, okay, I want an ounce of gold, here's $23. No, they're going to tack on a premium so they can make a profit. That's how it works. And the typical premium that you're going to see on silver today is about $8. Now, if you go to sell, all these dealers like JM Bullion, who you were just showing, they don't ever buy from anybody. They only buy from their mint sources, right? They're not going to buy from you as a human being. So you're stuck with that coin, right? When I say stuck, it's not a bad thing to be stuck with gold and silver. Don't get me wrong when I say that. But what I mean is if you ever want to sell it, you ain't selling it back to them. You have to go find somebody willing to buy it from you. And then they're going to make you prove it's real and not fake. So you have to have it assayed, and you pay for that. And then you have to ship it. And then they have to have it assayed to make sure it is right. And then they will ship you your money. And this could take weeks, literally. It's not instantaneous. One of the things we're going to get to in a few is how 7K actually has an instant buyback at higher prices. But let me tell you the general buyback procedures. When you go to a dealer, you say, I want to sell you this bullion, they'll say, sure. We'll give you spot minus 10%. That's their profit, right? And that's how they make money and stay in business as a dealer. Buy low, sell high. So when you go to sell it back, you're going to get what your spot price minus 10% typically. At 7K, if you want to sell back your bullion, they give you over spot prices, not under spot prices. And so you get more value whenever you sell back, and you never have to even take possession, or you could. And this is something I was talking with another friend earlier today. He was misunderstanding where does this bullion go when I buy it? And the answer is wherever you want it to. You could take physical possession and they will ship it to you, insured shipment. And you now have it and you put it wherever you want. Personally, I would never recommend a safe deposit box to anybody, because the government can get into any safe deposit box you want. And if you don't believe that, you're smoking the wrong kind of tobacco or something. But the fact is that I don't like the government having access to anything I got. So there's private vaults that you can hire to take your delivery and store the money or the coins or bullion for you. And then there is a way for you to leave it with, like, if you're a member of Sound Money, you get free storage with state-of-the-art security, biometrics, armed guards, 24/7. That is watched, and it's audited every single week by an independent third-party auditor to make sure what's supposed to be in there is in there, right? And those reports are available. So and it's free. So up to $25,000 worth. Now, if you wanted to store your bullion there, you never have to take physical possession of it. And if you wanted to convert it back to cash, you press a button and you get a higher price than anywhere in the world. So all those things considered, you have a lot more options out there than just giving up your money when you want to sell to some neutral third party. Okay, so it's very liquid. You can buy it at any given time, 24/7. You can sell it any given time, 24/7. I'm talking gold or silver Eagles. And it's really important that y'all know this. The government has said if you're buying gold or silver Eagles, the American currency, that is a non-reportable event. Meaning the company does not have to report that you bought from them, nor do you have to report that you bought from them, nor do you have to report that you sold to the company or anybody you sell to. It is non-reportable. So the IRS can't get in your business with gold and silver eagles. Now, those are bullion. Now, you can also get graded MS-70 eagles as well, and those will have a higher premium, but they are fair competitively. Those coins go up faster. So I want to tell you all about something that you probably also never heard. The U.S., let's just take silver for a second. Silver eagles became U.S. currency in 1986. That's when they started printing the eagle version. And if you had been collecting an MS-70 graded eagle, one a month, so that's 12 of them per year, one a month, every month on a routine basis, and just did that ever since they came out, you would have spent on average in today's dollars about $115 a month, okay, approximately. So that works out to about 50 grand. You'd have put out 50 grand over the course of what has been 36 years. And so in those 36 years, that's about 115 a month, you'd acquire all those coins and have spent 50 grand. And by the way, you probably would have wasted 115 on Starbucks anyway a month. So just saying, you'll have tangible metal. But let's put it this way. If you look up the value of each of those years of those MS-70 eagles, those coins, because they were graded and rare, are worth $1.6 million today. I'm going to say that again, $1.6 million for a $50,000 investment. I don't think anybody would complain. Am I right? With that as a general overview, what do I buy? Do I buy more gold, more silver? This is something I'm sure everybody listening to this call has asked me at some point. What do I buy? I mix it. I keep equal amounts of gold and silver in my vault, bullion. So roughly, if I spend $1,000 on gold, and by the way, I shouldn't even use the word spend. That's a terrible way to put buying gold and silver, because you're not spending anything. You spend something when you buy a toothbrush at Target. You spend something when you buy a steak and you eat it. But when you trade your dollars for another form of real money, as Robert Kiyosaki calls it, God's money, then you haven't spent anything. You've just reinvested your dollar into something that's tangible, that's going up, and it's real money. And it can convert back to $1 anytime you want. You can't convert that steak dinner that you just had back to $1. So the reality is, using the term buy probably isn't accurate. But now that you understand that, I'm going to still say it, because people are used to hearing it. So I keep an equal mix of bullion in gold and silver. That's just me personally. I'm not giving anybody advice to do that. I also keep a lot of cash that I convert to collectibles. So when I have cash, I buy collectibles, and then I also will buy gold and silver in the bullion form. But I have way less money in bullion in total than I have in collectibles. And here's the reason why. And this goes to something you said at the very beginning of the call. So I want to come back to it. This is offense versus defense. Bullion is a defensive strategy against the dollar losing its value and price increases and interest increases. As those things happen, the gold and silver bullion go up. They just will. And you saw the chart that Stephen showed. They do. Now, what happens is those can be converted back to cash at any given time, especially if you're in your vault with 7K metals. It's instant. Then it can be transferred right into your bank account and you have all the cash you want. Collectibles, how do you sell those? The answer is online. People are selling collectible coins on Amazon. If you ever look, you'll see gazillions of them. They're selling them on eBay. You'll see zillions of coins on eBay. And there's a site called Stack and Sell, StacknSell. And that's a membership-based site where people have to join, but they're all over the world. And this gives a platform for any coin collector to put their coin up for sale, like eBay. You pay that person, you pay eBay, and then eBay pays the seller when the coin gets delivered or the product. Same thing here. They act as a middleman. They take the money from the buyer, even including credit cards. Then they ask you to send your coin in to them that the person bought. They make sure with their experts that it is the authenticated and it's the same coin, not bait and switch, and it's real. And then they authenticate the grading because they have barcodes and all of that. There's an example of stack and sell there. And what happens is you can look up anything. If you were to like put in a search, like a state, like Idaho, you see a state animal coin from Idaho. And it happens to be the Appaloosa, I think. Well, that coin is selling on eBay for $1,200. And I think people on Stack and Sell are asking about $1,200. That coin originally sold to 7K members for $139. So to go up almost tenfold is insane in less than 2 years. But that's what collectible coins can do. So if you want to sell it, you just say, I want to sell it, and then you put a price that you're willing to accept. But it also, Stack and Sell shows an independently derived number for market value. So you can compare what somebody's asking to what the market value is. If they're asking too much, then nobody's going to buy it. Eventually, the seller will lower their asking price. And when they lower their asking price, eventually it gets to a point where some buyer says, I'll pay that. And then they say, I'll buy it. And then the sale's made. So I have much more money currently invested into collectibles, and here's why. Bullion is defensive, as I mentioned. It just protects you against the dollar losing. But collectibles are offensive. They go up at, if this is your rising chart for Bullion, your collectible chart is like this. So it goes up higher and faster, and then it holds its value. This stuff goes like this all the time, right? But this goes up and it holds. Example, you look at any baseball cards that go up in value, and they sell in the millions of dollars because they're in pristine, perfect condition. This is why collectibles go up in value. They're in pristine, perfect condition, but there's very few of them.
I'll tell you, it's a lot of fun. I mean,
Yeah.
because it's almost like you're doing something good for yourself financially, but it's fun, and that's what I've always looked for in business and investing. So that's one of the reasons I love the collectible side of it.
Yeah.
Just so you guys know, one of the fun parts about this too, I'll just share this is inside the membership area of 7K, there's this training center. So everything that Scott is saying right now is stuff that's taught like on these videos too. So just learning about the differences in precious metals. I mean, it's an investment strategy that's been around forever. And I think it'll be one of the ones that will be around forever. And
we are members of a company we don't own. And it's a membership model like Costco, where you pay once a year for the right to be a member, and that gives you the right to go in anytime, buy as little or as much as you want over the course of the year. Obviously, the idea, the more you buy, the more savings you make, right? And that more than covers your membership. 7K Metals has a membership also. It's good to be a member so that you could trade it and let it park and sit in the vault for a while it's going to go up and the dollar continues to go down. When you need the money, or if you need the money down the road, pull it out. And that's perfectly acceptable, okay? And by the way, there's no fees involved. So they don't ever charge you a fee when you buy or sell, just FYI. The price is the price, 1 or 1,000. In fact, you could buy, let's just say gold is I'm going to round $1,900 right now, and let's just say you only had $200 available, that you could buy an ounce. But with 7K, you could buy 1/10 of an ounce, and you could have $190 worth of it. So I think that is phenomenal. And people can play. You don't have to be rich to do it. But I have a guy who got $1 million sitting in the bank, and he just bought a monster box the other day and had it mailed to him because he wanted to hold possession of it. 500 Silver Eagles. You can do as much or as little as you want at any given time. So there's two different memberships. One is called a standard membership, and it gives, and the other one is a premium membership. I did the premium. Steven did the premium. It has way more benefits, but the upshot of it is it's a 1-year membership. You get your back office. You get a membership in Stack and Sell, where it doesn't cost you anything per month. All of that. Collectibles, the collectible coins are all shipped to you. They don't store those for you. Okay. It's just bullion that gets stored. Gold and silver bullion. You get the Stack and Sell with either of the two memberships. However, you get the upgraded $200 a year Stack and Sell for free with the premium.
So the Premier basically pays for itself, because why would you not want this,
The things that you're doing are on the premium so that everybody can do what you're about to do.
I got you. Cool. So just if you're new to this, if you're watching this, when we're talking about memberships, the memberships we're talking about are 7K, which is a kind of like a Costco or Amazon membership site. Specifically for precious metals, for buying gold and silver, whether that's bullion, whether that's collectibles, like we're talking about right now. And we can kind of go through this too, maybe just kind of do a little walkthrough of the site and stuff. But part of the membership at 7K is this Stack and Sell. So this is a public website that anybody can join, anybody can become a member of. It's $200 a year, but it gives you an ability, just like eBay, to buy and sell stuff, but it's specifically for collectibles. And what Stack and Sell does is they actually have a verification process. So anytime anybody buys or sells a coin on Stack and Sell, it goes through Stack and Sell company. They actually take a look at it. They approve that it is what it is and that it's certified and all that good stuff. And then they send it out to the end buyer. So there's kind of that extra layer of security, as opposed to buying something, for instance, like on eBay, where you don't know if it's rated, if it's not, where it's coming from, is it fake, like all this stuff. And that's one of the problems that's always been with eBay, and why I kind of haven't used eBay in many years. You just get so much stuff out there that's not real. But it's one of the nice things about Stack and Sell is you have that added layer. And then they also kind of keep track of everything. So what you see on the screen right here are some of the coins that I personally own in my own collection. And so you can kind of see, what they're worth, what I paid for it, if I have any equity in the coin. So it's kind of a nice place to kind of organize everything that you have. And so I have 5 new coins I was going to scan in just to kind of show how that works. So once you log in, this is the home screen right here. You have your dashboard, kind of shows you, what you have going on. I have 17 coins. I purchased 2 off of here. I've sold 1 on here. I'm watching 34 items, which, by the way, you ever do the watching, Scott?
Absolutely, every day. And I get a text on my phone that tells me, hey, this just changed price and so forth.
Yeah, I was going to say, the text messages are really cool. Like I'm getting them because I'm watching so many now. Like I keep getting them like multiple times, but it's really neat. You just click the link and it pulls it right up on your phone. And if you want to buy it, you can hit buy. So I actually just had one that, does it show me what it's sending me? It just shows me what I'm watching. So I just got one. I'm trying to get the whole collection of these Marvel things because my son thinks they're cool. So I just got an alert for this one right before we went on. For this Thor right here, and it's actually in the equity, so I can buy it for $225, but it was at $295 and it's already dropped a little bit. So I'll probably maybe pull the trigger on that here soon. But it's a cool way to kind of keep an eye on stuff that you're wanting to buy. You just aren't, or if you're trying to track, what the prices are, if it's going up or down. This is another one I thought was pretty cool. This is a 2 ounce.
Hey, interesting. I just saw your cyborg. You're watching the cyborg. There in the top row. You just passed it up a little bit. So if you go back, I have a cyborg for sale, and on Stack and Sell right now, and I am not the lowest price. I am not the $859. I'm asking a lot more for it.
I gotcha.
Yeah, so if you learn,
so you're probably like this one.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll wait till those little guys sell theirs, and then I'll get the big bucks. But
it's definitely a cool coin, man. I like the bigger ones too, like these 3 ounce guys. Like they come in the big case. They're really neat.
Well, if you look, there's only 499 of them in the whole world, right. And that is one of the coolest looking coins I've ever seen. And by the way, not all 499 are MS70 or PF70 in this case, which is perfect.
Oh, wow. Okay. So, that's good enough.
good to know.
What'd you pay for yours? Do you mind me asking?
I don't mind you asking. Let me go look up my stack and sell right now because I can't remember.
All right, while you're doing that,
But
I'm gonna add a couple while you're doing that.
Uh,
All right, here we go.
Sure.
So what you do is you go to my stack and, or you can probably go to my listing. Just go to my stack right here and then click on add item. And then you can either manually enter it or you can scan it. And then what does the inspect graded coin mean, Scott? I haven't done that.
It means if you have a coin and you want to know details on it, then you can hit that. But you don't need to because I'm going to show you a shortcut that if you wish, and that's also in the training I did. But all you do is click on the hyperlink where it says market value. Oh, by the way, my Cyborg Revolution is the middle one. It's I'm asking 975, and I paid 700. Paid 700.
So here, so you can see now it just turned my camera to this view. So so what you do is you just kind of hold the barcode.
You have to keep it really still. There it goes.
All right, so that's it. That's the coin. You guys just saw it right there. So then I just hit save and scan another. All right, so from here, if I want to see like my newest ones, I can click newest and sort. So these top 5 ones are the ones I just now scanned. So you can see right here, the Arkansas, I paid $139. That's what they charge you on auto ship. And the market value is $195. So I can click market.
Instant equity.
Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, that's the one. If you scan, if you wanted to, that's the button.
Showing me the counts. So right now there's 3 Arkansas coins for sale, 3 sold, and there's what's the items?
Okay, this is a really good point. Of all of the people who have a stack and sell account, 179 have this coin. Or another way to say it is of the owners, some of them may have 2 or 3 of them for all we know, but they would be, there's 179 total coins owned by people with stack and sell accounts. 3 of them are for sale and 3 of them have sold in the past. The current lowest asking price is 198. The highest asking price is 200. So they're obviously lumped together pretty close. I have one. I had 2 of those, and I put 1 for sale. Let me see which one of those is mine. No, I didn't put it for sale. I'm one of the 170 something. No, I didn't offer it because I only have 1, and I'm trying to get a whole set of all 50 states.
No, collecting all 50 states is definitely my next goal, I believe.
And they cycle. You find that the coins are most valuable either instantly after the company starts selling them or especially after they sell out. See, there's only 7,777 of this Illinois coin, and there are tens of thousands of members on autosaver, and eventually they're going to get them, which means they're going to sell out. And once they're sold out, they're going to go crazy. Example, if you check out Texas, yeah, there's only 5,000 of those. And see, the ones that are 5,000 are even more expensive. And the ones that are 2,000, which are just Idaho and Montana, those are up in the thousands right now.
Wow.
And those came out at 139. Check it out in the third one.
Wow.
Look at that.
1,200.
The lowest asking 1,200. And there's only 2,000 of those. So people are going back and trying to get hold of these ones that have been sold out. Look at the difference between the 69 and the 70. It's $500 difference. So I buy only 70s. That's just me.
So something else fun that I've been doing, Scott, and you kind of introduced me to this, but the 7K today, you can go on there and you can search so if you're like looking for a whole collection, right? Because that's kind of the thing I've been looking at. So like the Evolution of Life. So this is like this whole Evolution of Life coin series that came out, but you can kind of look through it. Because if you're wondering, like, because I saw one of these coins on here, I thought that they're just really neat looking. They're like old dinosaur bones and stuff, So this is kind of how you say, okay, what else do I need for my collection to complete the collection? And that's how you do that, right, Scott? That's how you kind of start learning about different things.
That is. And there's another way to go. When you're going to 7K today, go back to 7K today, main page, and I'll show you something another little cool trick you can do. Up on top where it says coin collections, just click on that and it'll show you all of the coin collections
Oh, yeah. Oh,
that they have as their series. You will see various ones. Like that's the second one is the State Animal Gold series, the mandala, so you can see which ones you don't have. There it is. Okay, now when you scroll down from here, you'll see how many of each coin, but you'll also be able to play a video on the series, which is really good. But it tells you, say, Alabama is still sending. Okay, right there,
oh,
currently sending.
oh, yeah.
And that's how you can know if they're not sold out yet, right?
Right.
And your Alaskas are up in value. They're already higher. Arizona is coming out still. Pretty soon you're going to get to some of the ones that are okay, currently sending Arkansas. That mockingbird is worth a lot too, by the way. Now check the bear, the California grizzly bear. It's sold out and it was only 5,000 of them. Those were up near $300. I paid 200 and change.
So the only way to get one of these, you can't get it from 7K anymore. So you'd have to come on something like Stack and Sell to buy it.
Or it's way higher on eBay. I checked that too.
Oh, really?
And eBay, you don't even know if they're counterfeiting them or not, so I'm not going to bother. But 156 is the lowest asking price, and there's a bunch of them bunched in there. Let me see if there's some Q&A in here. Claire has been typing some. Some coins say TBD, no market value. What is that? That means to be determined. It means there haven't been enough sales to get an accurate market value yet. What the software does is it looks at eBay, Amazon, Stack and Sell, and any other sources online where these coins may have sold. And then it comes up with a market value. If something says TBD, it means not enough of them have sold yet or are listed anywhere yet. Also, what other aspects are Stack and Sell are in premium membership, if there's a difference between that and standard? The answer is if you had become a member of 7K before June 1st, anytime before June 1st, you're grandfathered into the premium version of Stack and Sell, even if you were a standard member. If you joined after June 1st, then a standard member has a limit of only 100 coins that they can buy and sell and stack. Whereas the premium has unlimited number. The ability to scan notes and so forth. There is the ability to see the market value link. Those are some of the differences between them. But the biggest one is how many coins you can do. And then, do you have a favorite website to follow what precious metals are doing in the market? Yes, it's called 7K. How do you keep track of the price of gold and silver? You go to your dashboard. It's the first thing you see right here. So as we are speaking, the price is 1711.80 on the spot in New York Stock Exchange, and silver is 1849. So it's dipped under $19, which is just phenomenal. Now, if you wanted to buy bullion, you could go to your Sound Money wallet, and it shows you that for a gold eagle, it's going to be $2,015 right now for 1 ounce of gold bullion eagle, and it's $34.21 for one silver eagle. And you can just convert any fraction of that you want to have. You could also go to the products page and you go to dealer direct, and here's some more bullion. You can buy gold bullion, you can buy other things. These change all the time. If you want Britannia, a tube of 25 is $681. So that price is actually lower than an eagle, but they always are. Eagles have the highest premium of any bullion coin. Here's a 1 ounce maple leaf. Of course, it's sold out, but it's $27.99. So that's even lower than 34. So again, the world seeks out gold and silver eagles. One last thing I'll show you is on collectibles. If you go to the 7K selected, you can see various coins that you can get. This is a PF70 5-gram silver coin. This one is really good. I think this is a good bargain for people to grab right now. And you saw I had a gilded one. There's only 234. The one I have, there's only 99 of them. So I bought that one instead. But this is big deal. So there's twice as many of these, but that's still really low. Anything under 500 minted is still pretty dang good. So this is 3 ounces of silver. If you want to magnify the picture, you can take a look at it. When interest rates go up, gold and silver go up, and the dollar buys less. Now, here's the play. You convert any excess dollars, fiat currency, into tangible assets like gold and silver. Then, as the dollar continues to lose buying power, price goes up. Why? Because a cheaper dollar, it takes more of them to buy back the gold and silver. So if you hold it a year or two or three and the price doubles or triples, then you're getting 2 or 3 times as many dollars back in the same period of time that the dollar has lost value every year.
I think up until now, most people are hoping that the market's going to bounce. We're going to see a nice big return before the crash. And so people have been kind of adjusting their portfolios. But I think people are starting to realize that market might not bounce back and we might have nothing but down from here. And that's when you're going to start to see these trends of where we're going to start seeing these upwards trends going back up again.
And you're going to have amazing recession, because when we had our last inflationary period and we came out, the recession was mild. Okay, this time it's going to be crushing, and here's the reason why. The M1 money supply and how much money the Fed has pumped in since COVID in the last 2 years, more money has been printed than has ever been printed in our nation's history, dated back to 1776. So what is this meaning? It means it's unprecedented. There's never been as much money floating around, which means it's never been as cheap. So I'm not going to get further deep into it other than saying, if you have a lot of excess cash sitting somewhere, consider strongly putting some of it into precious metals.
Now, look at this, Scott. The last crash we had in 08.
Yeah.
The silver was, it crashed right along, not crashed, but it dropped from about 20 down to about 10 during the crash. But then we'll look what happened right after, as everybody didn't know what was going on and foreclosures were occurring and the market was correcting, shot all the way up to 50. I mean, I could see that happening and going well above that in this next coming few years.
It has to, because if the last crash caused that much of an adjustment, a 5-fold increase, then the next one is worse. And it could go to 100 or more, but I'm not going to predict. That's not my point. My point is, just take a difference between 22 on this chart. Now this is the stocks, but if you take the $22 and look at the 26 we had just a couple months ago, that's $4 difference, which is actually 20% difference. When you can have a 20% rise in a month or two, you're looking at like 200 or 300% a year annualized return on investment. Folks, that's a smart play, no matter what it is. Now, it will behoove you to get your gold and silver, if you're talking bullion, at the lowest possible prices, which is why myself and Stephen and Chris, we are all, and many of you on this call already, are members of 7K, because 7K buys it at dealer direct pricing and does not put a markup on bullion. Unlike places like online, like JM Bullion, AppMex, Money Metals, all these other sites, they put a profit margin in there. And we're usually maybe, $1 or so less than what they charge. So, hey, if you're buying a lot, it could pay off. Now, what if you don't have a lot of excess money? This is really important. Then obviously if all you have in the bank is enough to survive and pay your bills and rent and mortgage, whatever, then obviously you have to keep some liquid cash for that purpose. What you want to do is find a way to make more income. And there are 2 ways to make income with precious metals. One is you play the fluctuations. But in bullion, that's very hard to do because all the big boys in the stock market are controlling the spot price. But in collectible coins, Totally different story. Those go up independently because of rarity and scarcity. So I'm making a little extra income by flipping coins, but the big money comes from holding them. And then there's one more way to make money with 7K. That's just refer a few people. Just tell them about it. And there are commissions that will build up for you. And some people are making $500 a month, which is better than a kick in the teeth. Some people are making $5,000 a month. And I know a guy who's making $50,000 a month. If you don't have any money, know this. You can buy gold and silver bullion for as little as $1. You don't have to pay $2,000 to get an ounce of gold. You could pay $20 to get 1/100th of an ounce and keep it. It'll be kept in a vault for you, easily liquidatable. You can turn it back to cash anytime you want. And then you can pull the cash out just like Venmo or Zelle or any of these other things. Questions Mike is asking, is it better to buy silver and gold bullion or silver gold eagle bullion for defensive purposes? It's a personal choice. Eagles are better to sell and you get a higher buyback price on eagles from 7K. We'll buy them back anytime you want, 24/7. Press a button, the price is quoted, and it's higher than anybody else. But if you're buying things like bars, okay, it's harder to sell these back, and you're getting less dollars per ounce than you would with an eagle anyway. But if you took an eagle bullion to a coin dealer, they're going to give you the same price per ounce regardless of the coin. And since eagles cost a little more when you buy them because it's a premium, because it's the highest sought bullion in the world, you end up better off deciding how long do you want to keep them. So the longer you're going to keep them, the better it is to go with like bars and store them yourself. If you're going to be moving them quickly, let's say the market doubles and you want to pull your money out, get the Eagles and you get them from 7K. Okay, so you get them stored for you in a vault. You don't even have to take physical possession.
Hey, Scott, one thing I wanted to point out too. So let me just share my screen one more time. So when you're looking at coins, one thing you got to remember when it comes to 7K, we've been talking a lot about this today, but that MS70, you see where it says MS70 right there? So that's a worldwide recognized grading scale. And that's what it's called. The NGC is what certifies these things, right, Scott?
Yes, NGC is.
So in this case, when you're buying this thing for $350, it's MS70 graded. And what that means, it's flawless. It's never been in circulation. It's perfect in every single way, right?
Correct.
If you happen to be Googling this or like shopping on something like eBay, I'll just show you a difference. So that you can see the eBay screen. So you can see here, this is not $350. This is $183, $175. But what does that say right there? Uncertified and ungraded.
Right.
So when it's not certified or graded, you're essentially just buying an ounce of silver. I mean, it looks cool, but at the end of the day, the value is in that MS70 right there. That's what coin collectors want. And so when you see there's 999 of these that were ever minted, how many of those out of the 999 are MS70 graded versus the crap you see on eBay? And so these little things like this is what you got to be careful when it comes to collectibles. Because going back to like Michael Jordan, I mean, you can have a certain, or Babe Ruth or some of these cards that sell for thousands of dollars. I mean, I got Michael Jordan cards and Babe Ruth in my shed right now, and they're not worth that much money because they're crappy. They're not graded. They're not, you know what I mean? They are what they are. But when you have that grading and a perfect listing on them, that's when they sell for those crazy amounts of money. And coins are the exact same thing. So it's little like things like that I'm starting to learn more and more about, that I just want to be able to share and make sure you guys understand that.
Do what wealthy people do. Stop taking advice of broke, negative people. And I'm not saying you hang around with them, but I'm saying we all know them. Okay. I'll give you an example. My brother, I love him to death, but he doesn't know anything about money. He doesn't have two nickels literally to rub together. I bought him a 7K membership, and his comment to me is, I don't have the money to buy any gold and silver on a regular basis. And I go, why not? Well, my brother is a smoker, just like my mother. And I guarantee you, my brother is smoking away more than $300 a month. And I'm not criticizing smokers, because I'm sure some of you are on this call are. I am saying, don't tell me you can't afford something. I'd rather hear that you choose not to afford something. Everybody has a choice. I just talked to a guy, he's 32 years old, a kid. He was interested in a membership in 7K. I talked to him this morning. I said, here's the memberships. What do you want to do? He goes, I want to do it. I go, great, let's start. And he says, but I don't have any money. And I said, bummer. How come? If you don't mind me asking. Don't you have a job? Yeah. He goes, well, because I've been saving for a while and I just bought a Ducati motorcycle. Now, I don't know if you guys know anything. Ducatis are not freaking cheap. They are the most expensive motorcycles on planet Earth, I think, for pound per pound. And he went into debt to buy his Ducati, and now he can't make the monthly payments. So that was a choice. He could have chosen to do something to make money. Instead, he's choosing to do something to spend money. And listen, bottom line, I'm not telling anybody how to live their life, but I am saying wealthy people invest in things that make them money. If you don't believe me, read Robert Kiyosaki. Read Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Michael just hit it right on the nose. Liabilities versus assets. And in a balance sheet, you have assets that make you money, and you have liabilities that cost you money. You also have an income statement, which is things that produce income and things that take money out of your pocket, like rent, things like that. So you should do those for yourself. Rich Dad, Poor Dad talks about it. Robert Kiyosaki's latest book is called Fake. And he's talking about, in that book, how fake the US dollar is.
I think we're good, Scott. That was great. I saw a few people scheduling calls. So if anybody else wants to talk, let us know.
Yeah, either call, text to that 651 number, or go to the link and just schedule a call. That's the easiest way to do it. Plus, while you're at the link, there's a lot more info you can pick up on. All right. Well, it's been my honor. Thank you for Stephen. I'm glad to have been here.
Yeah, thanks, Scott. Appreciate everybody coming. We will see you guys next week.
Okay. See you at the top.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.